You can have the best offer in your industry. You can be great at what you do. You can have real results, real experience, and a real business. But if your content looks cheap, people are going to assume your business is cheap. And that's the problem most business owners don't realize. They're losing trust before the sales call ever happens. They're losing authority before they ever explain their offer. They're losing opportunities because the way they show up online does not match the level they're trying to sell at. Bad lighting, bad audio, a messy background, a low quality camera angle. All of this is communicating something before you even say one word. And the scary part is people won't even tell you this. They won't comment, hey, your setup looks unprofessional. They'll just keep scrolling. They won't book the call. They won't take the offer seriously. They won't see you as the authority. So in this video, we're going to break down how your current setup could be costing you money, costing you trust, and making your brand look smaller than it actually is. Now, I want to make something very clear. I'm not saying your setup is the only reason why you're not closing deals. So if your offer is weak, that needs to be fixed. If your sales process is terrible, that also needs to be fixed. If you do not follow up with your leads, guess what? You need to fix that. If you're not clear on who you help, what problem you solve, and why people should trust you, that needs to be fixed too. So I'm not here to tell you that a camera, a light, and a microphone are magically gonna save your business. That is not the point. The point is this: your setup is the vehicle that carries your message. It carries your authority, it carries your value, it carries your first impression. So if the message is strong, but the way it's being delivered feels weak, you are creating friction. That is a problem. Your content setup is not the whole business, but it is one of the fastest ways people experience your business before they ever talk to you, before they book the call, before they watch the video, before they trust the offer, before they hear the full story, they feel the first impression. And when the first impression feels off, it creates a massive gap. I call that the trust gap. The trust gap is when the value you provide is here, but the way you show up online is here. And that gap matters because the more expensive your offer is, the more trust people need before they move forward. If you're selling a high ticket service, coaching program, a consulting offer, a course, a mastermind, or anything where people need to believe in you, your presentation cannot feel random. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to feel intentional. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. They think the solution is immediately to go buy the most expensive camera. They think they need a full studio. They think they need a crazy background. They think they need a production team. But most of the time, that is not where you start. The first step is not more gear. The first step is awareness. You need to understand what your current setup is communicating because your setup is always saying something. Even your lack of a setup is saying something. If every time you record, it looks different, sounds different, feels different, and it takes you 45 minutes just to get started, that's costing you. Not just in quality, it's costing you in consistency, and consistency is where most business owners lose. They have the ideas, they have the knowledge, they have the experience, but they do not have an environment that makes it easy to say it. So content becomes this big task. They have to find the tripod. They have to move the light. They have to connect the mic. They have to clean the room. They have to find the angle. They have to test everything. And by the time they're finally ready to record, the energy is gone. That's why the setup matters. The setup is not just for quality. The setup is for speed. The setup is for consistency. The setup is for confidence. The setup is for making content easier to create. The easier it is to record, the more likely you are to actually do it. That's why inside of $1 Million Creator, we're not just talking about content. We are building a media machine. A media machine starts with creating a simple environment where you can sit down and create without overthinking. Now, let's make this practical. I want you to look at your current setup through what I call the trust filter and ask yourself, does this setup help people trust me faster? Because that is what we are really trying to build, trust. So I want you to look at these 5 areas. Number 1, can they hear me clearly? If the audio is bad, the message loses power. Your voice carries your confidence. Your voice carries your authority. Your voice carries the lesson, the story, the offer, the conviction. So if your audio sounds far away, echoey, muffled, or hard to understand, that is the first thing you need to fix. A clean message with bad audio becomes hard to receive. Number 2, can they see me clearly? Your face needs to be lit. If your face is dark, grainy, or hidden, it creates distance. You don't need a crazy lighting setup, but you do need enough light for people to clearly see you. Because when people can see you clearly, they connect faster. Number 3, does the frame feel intentional? The camera angle matters. If the camera's too low, too high, too far, or crooked, the video feels less professional. You want the camera around eye level. You want the shot to feel clean. You want people to feel like you are speaking directly to them. A clean, intentional frame makes your message feel more direct. Number 4, is the background helping or hurting? Your background does not need to be expensive, but it should not distract from the message. A clean wall can work, a desk setup can work, a bookshelf can work, but if the background is messy, random, or distracting, people are going to be processing that while you're trying to teach them, sell them, or communicate. You want the background to support the message, not fight against it. Number 5, can I use this setup consistently? This might be the most important one, because if your setup takes too long to build every time, you're not gonna use it. The best setup is the one that makes it easy for you to create consistently. You want a simple recording zone. So I always say all you need is a wall, or you can use the corner of your room, a desk setup, an office space, whatever you guys have available, a place where a camera, a light, and a microphone can be ready or close to ready. That way, when you have something to say, you don't spend all of your energy trying to set up. You just record. That is the quick win. Do not try to fix everything at once. Just use the trust filter. Look at your setup and ask, what is the one thing creating the most doubt right now? Is it my audio? Is it my lighting? Is it my camera angle? Is it my background? Is it the fact that I don't even have a consistent place to record? Pick one, fix one. That is how you start building momentum. Before moving to the next video, audit your current setup using the trust filter. Then choose the one thing you need to fix first. Don't overcomplicate it. Just pick the biggest leak. Because in the next video, I'm going to show you the 3 things every content setup needs. Once you understand those 3 things, you're going to know exactly where to focus first, so you can start building a setup that helps you create better content, show up with more authority, and make your brand feel more professional. Remember, this is not about looking perfect. This is about removing friction. Friction is trust. Friction is consistency. Friction is how your message is received, because your content is not just content. It is the first touch point of your brand. And the way you show up either supports the level you're trying to sell at or quietly pulls you down. So let's fix that.